Hello, and in this video, I'm going to be introducing the fillet command and the chamfer command. And what those are is just basically creating rounded edges or angled edges instead of just a sharp 90-degree corner. The fillet also can make a sharp edge, which is useful when you don't want to trim and extend. You just use the fillet command. So first, I will show using the fillet and making a sharp edge with that command. So the fillet command is actually up here in the Home tab, over one to the Modify panel. And it is 2 down, all the way to the right, and it says fillet. So if you select that, on the command line, it says select first object or undo polyline, radius, trim, multiple. We're going to do radius because we want to specify that to be 0, and that's what's going to give you a sharp edge. So now that it's at 0, I select my 2 lines I want to fillet. And just like that, I get a perfect edge that the lines meet each other, and I didn't have to do any trimming or extending. Now let's do a more rounded one. Let's do we'll put a number 1 instead of 0. So let's hit fillet again. And now we're gonna type in R and enter. And we're gonna make the radius 1 inch. So we just type in 1. Now it's ready. So I'm going to select these 2 lines. And as you can see, you get a much more rounded edge, and the software trimmed and extended for you. You didn't have to do any of that. Same with if you have just 2 lines already touching each other, that's really easy. Same deal. I wanted to show it this way as well. So normally up to now, what we would do is just trim these outside lines so we have a nice box. But I'm going to show you the multiple fillet command, which is much faster than trimming, in my opinion. You only have to click 4 times versus 8. So I'm going to hit that fillet button, and then I'm going to type the letter M and hit enter. And what this does is keeps it in this same command until I exit out. So to fillet these corners, I'll keep it rounded at 1 inch. It always stays where you left it the last time. So last time I left it at 1 inch and rounded. So it's going to be there this time. So I'm going to just select my lines and get my corners. Now it is important where you select, because if I select out here, it gives me a little no, I'm not supposed to do that. Make sure you're selecting in the right spot to get the result that you want. Also, I wanted to show that you can fillet 2 circles together, but you have to turn the trim option off because the circles just don't like that. So what you do is click the fillet button again, and you're going to type in T for trim, enter, and then it says trim or no trim. I'm going to type in N for no trim. And then if I just select my circles, I get a nice little rounded fillet between them. Wonderful. Now I'm just going to go back in, and I'm going to turn the trim option back on. because I like it when it trims. Okay, and then if you wanted to get rid of those extra lines in the middle of these circles, you have to actually trim them out. Then you get a cool little shape there. Lastly, you can fillet a line to a circle. I will show you that. Select the fillet button, select your line, and so if you select your circle on this side, it's going to fillet to that side. If you select it over here, it's going to fillet to the other side. So that's kind of cool. Okay, and then chamfer is very, very similar to fillet, but it's for creating beveled edges or an angled edge. So when we do a chamfer, we always specify the distance and we always specify the angle of it. So I'm going to show you with this closed corner and then this open corner. So the chamfer button is hidden underneath the fillet button. So you have to hit this drop down arrow and select chamfer. So before I select any lines, I'm going to type in the letter A and hit enter. And now the command line, it's saying specify chamfer length on the first line. Let's just make that 1 inch. So I type in 1 and enter. And now it says specify chamfer angle from the first line. I like 45 degrees. That's a real nice angle for me. So I'm going to type in 45 and enter. And now it's ready for me to select my lines. So I'll select this one and that one. And here we've got a 1 inch chamfer at 45 degrees. Now let's do it a little different. I'm going to select the chamfer button again and letter A, enter. Let's make it 2 inches, 2, enter. And let's make it like a 60-degree angle and see what that's like. Enter. I'm going to select these lines. And then we've got our 60-degree angled chamfer at 2 inches. And you can verify if you're curious by measuring. Well, you know what I mean.